guys, I'm here out in this beautiful little swamp and we are here with some turtles. Actually, have a whole bunch of turtles that we are going to be releasing today, and this is our very first turtle release, so it's a really exciting time of the year. And these turtles are huge, and they're going to be now meeting their new home and their new friends that all live out here, and I'm going to be showing all of those things to you too, so you can see where your turtles are going to live now and who their new friends are going to be out here in the swamp. So, you ready to join me? Okay, so we're here out in the swamp at your turtle's new home. And you guys probably wouldn't want to live here. It's really mucky, it's really gross for a person to live in, right? You wouldn't want to live in the swamp, but this is perfect habitat for turtles, and especially your turtles. So we're actually really close to where your turtles were born. We're nearby a school. In fact, back that way there's a softball field, and the mom turtle came up last summer out of the swamp and into the softball field and laid her eggs in the middle of the field. And kids who were out playing in recess, they saw the turtle and they told us, and we came and helped protect the nest so that we could get these little hatchlings for you guys to raise. So we're back here right at their birthplace. This is where they belong, and it's really important that we don't ever want to move turtles around from different areas, right? This is their home, and we want to bring them back here. So you guys have just given them a little head start though, so that now they're a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, and they're going to survive really well when they're out here. So we're going to look at a couple things about why this is such a really good place for turtles. The first thing that you might notice as we're here is that there's a lot of like shrubs and these little what we call like little tussocks, right? Right now they're kind of dry because it's still the beginning of the spring and not much has grown yet. But right, the turtles, they live in the water and they're going to be swimming around in the water and hunting in the water. But sometimes if they want to come up and bask in the sun, right, they could sit on one of these little tussocks and sun themselves. And there's also all these shrubs and roots and things, lots of really good hiding places for them. So those are two really important things, places to bask and places to hide, right? And finally, right, the most important thing for them is the water, and that the water is full of yummy food for them to eat, right, as they swim around. So what we did to see what else is living here is we actually set some traps to see, okay, what kinds of other animals are here and what maybe could be your turtle's friends or your turtle's food. So I've got my coworker Kara over here, and she's going to show you guys what's in the traps.
So guys, this is one of the traps that we set and checked today. We often like to set these traps in channels where other creatures like to swim, and we normally put little stakes so we can find them again, and pool noodles to keep the traps floating so that anything that needs to breathe air will have plenty of room to come up and take a deep breath. So this is the kind of thing that we get in the traps. So you might have seen some flopping and stuff in here. That is because this trap is chock full, mostly of painted turtles, but also several different fish. So let me grab one of these fish to show you guys. We have a couple of different kinds of fish here.
That first fish would have been way too big for your turtles to eat, but this is a smaller one, different kind of sunfish, and maybe your turtles could get it if they were really fast or really lucky. Fish are really yummy food for turtles, but they're also really fast, so they often can evade turtles pretty well.
All right. And then we have a whole stack of turtles. So all three of these that I yanked out, and the few more that are in there, are painted turtles. These are the most common turtles in Massachusetts, and they'll react pretty peacefully to the snapping turtles. They really don't bother each other at all. It's a really good sign that we're getting so many painted turtles in this wetland, because they have some of the same sources of food as a snapping turtle of the size of yours that we're going to release. So if there are so many painted turtles that look so happy and healthy here, it's a really excellent sign for the release of your turtles. All three of these turtles that I pulled out here are males, and I'm going to walk a little bit closer so I can show you guys how I know. Painted turtles are called painted turtles because they're so lovely and colorful. And they're the most common turtles, as I said. So if you see any waxy looking rock looking thing basking, then it's most likely a painted turtle. You can tell that these are males because of those super long white tipped claws. The males have those really long front claws so that they can tickle the faces of female turtles. All right, folks, so one thing that we've caught today that's super neat is a frog. So frogs really like wetlands like this. It provides them a lot of places to blend in. You can see how this green and brown coloration works really well in the green and brown of the swamp. And frogs are really well designed to be both on land and in water. So this guy spends a lot of his time on land looking for the food that he eats, but he also spends a lot of time swimming. And you can really tell that by looking at this really wonderful back foot. So the webbing of this foot makes him incredibly fast going through the water. The frog has a lot of adaptations that makes him really, really good in this land and water combo. One thing is that he listens with these circular tympanum, which really are wonderful at hearing vibrations more than sound. So they work particularly well underwater. You can also see his eyes. He's a very, very good predator in his own right. He can see really well with those eyes, and he'll kind of keep a look at you as we move him. But despite as good of a predator as he is of other small bugs, frogs and the baby frogs, or tadpoles, remain one of the most important food sources for the turtles out here. A big frog like this could be eaten by an adult snapping turtle, and the baby tadpoles can get eaten by frogs and toads of all kinds, or turtles of all kinds, rather. Turtles of all kinds. So, the fact that we're finding frogs like this out in this wetland mean it's a really good spot for the turtles that live here.
Okay. So the reason why you guys have been having turtles in your classroom this past year is to give the turtles a head start, right? To learn about them, but also to give the turtles a little helping hand. And so by raising them in the classroom, you've made them a lot bigger and stronger and more likely to survive. This is the record-breaking turtle here of all the classrooms. This is the biggest one. And right, so he's now really, really big and strong, and it's gonna go out into the wild and be really likely to survive. Even this little guy here, right, he is so much bigger than when he first hatched. When he first hatched, he was the size of a quarter. And already now he's so much bigger that he's also much more likely to survive out in the wild. So by giving these guys a head start, you guys have helped them survive better in the wild, and so you're helping this local wildlife. Now, one important thing to remember though, that doesn't mean that you should take any animal that you find in the wild and take it home to help it grow big and strong. That's not actually how this works. So these guys are part of a conservation project, and we've been actually monitoring the population to make sure the population is doing well. You're doing this, right? You're doing this together with us as scientists, not just on your own. So it's really important that you don't just take any random animal from the wild and bring it home, okay? Don't forget. You guys did, though, a really good job with these guys, so thank you so much.
Here's Snappy from Sarah Greenwood. We have Queenie from H.A.T.C.H Elementary, about to go. Here's Dribble from H.A.T.C.H Elementary. This is Splash from H.A.T.C.H. Even though he's small, he's pretty feisty. This is Up from H.A.T.C.H. Here we have Michelangelo from Minihane. We have DJ from Higginson Lewis. This handsome guy is Flame from Haley Elementary. And this is Lucky Chump Shellington from King School. We have Coco from Haley Elementary, our biggest snapping turtle this year at a whopping 762 grams. Congratulations, Haley. We have just finished releasing all of your turtles, all the turtles that you spent so much time loving and caring for. It was a really excellent release. All the turtles were really happy to get back out in nature. We know it's a bittersweet moment for you, but from us, thank you so much. The turtles were all big and strong and healthy, and they're ready to enjoy this beautiful environment and go back to where they live. While we've been here today, we have seen and heard lots of wildlife. Some stuff that your turtles are going to eat, some stuff that your turtles are going to make friends with. We've seen other turtles, we've seen frogs, we've heard lots of birds, so we know that this is a really wonderful place for them to come home to. We also want to encourage you guys to get out in nature as much as you can. a lot of things that you might like to do may be closed right now, but the world around you isn't. So even if it's getting out on a busy street, you're gonna see a lot of nature, a lot of animals, a lot of plants that you can explore. Don't, miss spring and summer as it happens here.
Yeah, nature is all around us. It doesn't matter where you are or when you go outside, there is always life all around, right? Even in like the little cracks of a sidewalk, you could find some cool ants or beetles, right? Nature is everywhere, and all you have to do is open your eyes and look outside and see what's going on. And we hope that you get a chance to enjoy this beautiful spring, just like your turtles are enjoying it now too. So thank you all so much, and be safe out there, and hopefully see you soon.
So there have been a lot of great questions we've gotten, and a lot of those are asking how fast your turtles are and how well they can swim. So the answer is your turtles will get better and better at swimming as they get older. And snapping turtles are very neat because they do a kind of combination swimming and crawling. They stay almost always on the very bottom of the wetland where the big shell, the big carapace, can protect them. And their front claws are very good at climbing. They have actual long claws. So they often use those to kind of drag themselves on the bottom of the wetland, but their webbed back feet to kick. That means if they have to go fast, they can go incredibly fast. But they often don't bother. Your snapping turtles are sit-and-wait predators, which means they can chill for long periods of time at the bottom of the wetland, waiting for a tasty snack to swim by, and then snapping it, as their name implies. So they're perfectly capable of swimming extremely fast, but they very rarely bother.
Okay, here we go. This is a relatively small snapping turtle. You guys can see here, we caught her, or him, we're not sure. Look at that, look at those chompers, look at that mouth. Snapping turtles, they snap, right? That's how they get their name. The snapping turtle gets its name because it snaps, and you can see that.
Oh, good timing.
She's demoing that. And they have a very sharp beak that if you were to get any part of your body in the way of that mouth, it would not be a fun experience for you. So that's why, just doing a quick demo, a lot of people ask us, they say that they've seen snapping turtles around in their yard or on the road, and they're not sure, they're afraid, right? They don't want to get snapped by the turtle. And so they've asked, like, what can I do? How can I safely pick up the turtle and move it out of harm's way, especially get it out of the road? So I'm demoing that for you right now. So snapping turtles are safe to hold if you hold them from the back of the shell, right? So they have a long neck and they can snap pretty far, but as long as you're in the back portion of the shell, they can't reach their neck that far around. And so your hand is out of harm's way. So as long as you keep all your body parts away from the front, you're safe. Now it's still tricky though, because they have really strong muscles and sharp claws. So I have to kind of hold my hands pretty tight here. And even though this turtle isn't even a full-size turtle, she's pretty heavy. And so it can be kind of tricky. So you always want to do this with an adult, no matter what is going on.
We note the scaly skin, we note that the two little kind of nostrils right on top of the nose.
Yeah.
That means that this guy really can just stick barely his nose out and breathe. Perfect. That's a really good shot of his eye there.
Nice.
Yeah, I think we're all good.
Yeah, and so I'm holding his back feet, and you can imagine if this turtle was on the road, right, you could come up behind the turtle, right, and pick it up from the back of its shell or its back legs, and you could kind of wheelbarrow it. Look at that bite force right there.
There we go.
And you could wheelbarrow the turtle across the road safely that way. If you do see a turtle, the most important thing to remember is generally to leave it be unless it's in the road and you need to help it safely cross the road. And if you are going to help it cross the road, always remember, put the turtle in the direction that the turtle was going. Don't take turtles to your house. Don't move them to different locations where you think it might be cooler for them. Just the only time you should move a turtle is if it's in an unsafe spot.
Okay,
Cool.
awesome. Thank you.
There we go.